Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I decided to do a couple of videos here talking about the different stages of the awakening process. There's basically 5. There's more than 5, but I'm going to give you 5 main ones. We're going to start with 2 tonight, and then we'll do 2 tomorrow, and maybe a final one. 2 on the timer. All right, so the stages of awakening. And again, maybe you're receiving this, you've already been through these stages, but the main reason I'm doing this video is for those as well that maybe just are starting to go through this process and come across this video. So either way, maybe it's just confirmation of what you've already gone through or where you're in process of. So there, like I said, there's 5. I've collaborated and put together 5. And I'm going to talk about the stages of awakening 1 and 2, and then also the nutritional support that you can do with that as well, because I thought that was important. I thought that was fascinating. I didn't think about that. I mean, I've intuitively been listening to my physical body during this process, and it has changed quite a bit, especially coming from the health, wellness, and fitness industry for the past 20 years, and the nutritional aspect behind this process, okay? And then honoring that, but again, along with what was taking place there, also there's a lot of healing that went into that. So anyways, it is January 27th, 2026. So again, all videos are timeless. You will receive this when you're ready to receive this, whether you clicked play because you got curious, the ego got curious, you got curious in general, and you're going to be receiving some information, or I've landed in front of you per your algorithm, your sacred algorithm, your higher self, your spiritual team, and or source, any and all of the above, and has placed me in front of you. All right, so the stages of awakening. So the first stage, we're going to do 2 today. Okay, is the wake-up call. Okay, the wake-up call. And that would be something where you have this feeling that something isn't right, and you can't unsee it. So you feel like in your gut, you just feel like something isn't right, and you can't unsee what you have started to see. Like maybe those rose-colored glasses have been taken off or lifted up. And remember, with the awakening process, this can kind of go in a cyclical fashion. So there's parts of it where you would go through it, but the higher you elevate, you might go through more layers and go through different stages again. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? Usually the first wake-up call, the alarm clock going off, it's triggered by a few things. A few people think it's only triggered by a couple of things, but loss, like a death, a transition, a loss, a heartbreak, breakup, same thing, an illness, or physical burnout, mental burnout, okay? That can trigger an awakening. Sudden insights, and mystical experiences. So you start having sudden insights, receiving downloads and information from your highest self, from source, from your team, and you start experiencing the mystical experiences, the signs, the synchronicities. You start noticing repetitive patterns, numbers, and different things like that, okay? All right, you also have this deep dissatisfaction with what one would call a normal life, okay? All right. What it feels like in the first stage is that reality feels thinner, okay? Old goals stop motivating you. Believe me, it's really bizarre how all of this lines up in some way, shape, or form for all of us somehow. All right, you start to question everything. All right, so when I've gone through many awakening processes, but the big one here was this past year. But this first one, I've definitely been through this particular cycle in part of this phase more and more, okay? So I've always really questioned everything, and some of you might resonate with, you've always been the black sheep. You've always questioned something. You've always maybe in some way, shape, or form experienced those mystical experiences, things like that, okay? The shadow side of stage 1 is you might start experiencing more anxiety, more worry, more confusion, like it's the ego mind, okay? Feeling alone, okay, or completely misunderstood. Again, very resonant. I have something white in my hair. I don't know what that is. Fuzzy or something. Stage 1, primary chakra related to stage 1 is the root chakra, okay? The root. So nutrition for this, you might notice that you're craving comfort foods or stimulants. So be mindful of that, okay? You might have some blood sugar swings. You might have gut sensitivity, all right? Your body wants grounding, not restriction. So again, if you come from the fitness industry like I had, there was a lot of restriction involved, or there can be a lot of restriction in there, okay? The foods that you can use to support this first stage is root vegetables, you know, tubers, sweet potatoes, potatoes if you can tolerate, nightshades, carrots, very earthly, anything that grows under the ground, turnips, parsnips, maca is really good, oats, whole oats, old-fashioned oats, oat bran, groats, steel-cut oats, really nourishing soups, warm meals, okay? Think of the vadas, you know, in the Indian tradition. Think of warming foods, okay? Mineral-rich foods are super important as well. Sea salts, real salt, Baja salts, mineral drops, mineral-based herbs, greens, parsley, cilantro, things like that. Think mineral-rich. Greens powders, I do greens powder blend. Different things like that. Also, you might want to reduce your caffeine and your alcohol. For me, confirmation. I go, like I said, being more intuitive with my physical body and my avatar and what it needs. During this process last year, I started reducing coffee. I go in waves with coffee and teas and different things like that. And there was a time where I just basically cut all coffee out almost all of last year. I didn't do it because I said I'm going to cut coffee out. It's because I intuitively listened to my physical avatar. She didn't want coffee at that time. She needed to remove coffee. And then this part of the stage, I now in the winter have enjoyed coffee with some soy milk or some honey or some maple syrup. So again, don't get locked into the nutritional aspect. Really listen and tune into your physical body. Meditate on it. Breathe, contemplate, ask your physical body. It is consciousness. Every part of it is consciousness, okay? Ask it, what do I need? And it's going to change and ebb and flow this entire time during this process, and it's going to be cyclical. It's going to change, okay? So for the nervous system during stage 1, you might experience that flight or fight, that sympathetic. And again, most humans live most of their life in a flight or fight mode, which is not healthy, okay? It could get triggered and activate it more. So now you're in a bigger state of fight or flight, dumping the cortisol, which is a problem, okay? You might have hypervigilance or numbness. So it could go hypervigilant or become completely numb to everything. You're going to definitely experience some sleep disruptions, okay? All right. So helpful practices during stage 1 is walking, grounding, gentle yoga, yin yoga, which is like a fascia meditative hold, long release stretching with breath work. So breath awareness, inhale, exhale, fully inhale, fully exhale, okay, nose and mouth, okay. Consistent routines are going to help you during this stage as well, okay. Relationships during stage 1, you might be feeling understood and misunderstood in your relationship. You're going to question old dynamics, old paradigms, programmings, okay? You may desire to pull away, to seclude, all right? The lessons in stage 1, safety first, okay? Awakening starts in the body. So do things that make you feel safe in your own physical body, okay? That's stage 1, all right? And again, connecting to the color of the root and things like that will also help. It's that grounding practices. And just when you have awareness, you know, I didn't really have, like, I knew what I was going through, but I didn't have the awareness. So that's why I think I was really guided to go through each stage, okay? And I actually think I'm going to keep this for just stage 1, and I will do another video for stage 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. So thank you for joining me. I hope this helps. And again, I will see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.